What's up? We are back.
Back.
Welcome to the Love and Marriage Pandemonium podcast.
Yes.
All right. So if this is your first time, I'm Stephanie. This is my husband, Marlon. And we have began talking about marriages and, just we're no experts. Let me put that out there. We're
Yes,
no
we are
experts. We're not
experts in
licensed
the field.
therapists.
Okay.
We are basically just talking about our experience.
Yes.
Right? What you got?
What you mean what I got? Again, guys, welcome. We are so glad you tuned in. I think we have another really good topic today concerning love and marriage.
I'm excited about this one.
And if you haven't already, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share.
Yes.
All right. And don't forget, if you love the podcast, if you, have some input, maybe through your experiences, whatever, man, drop it in the comments. And if we get a chance, we'll come back, we'll revisit it throughout the week. Just interact with us.
Share, talk to us. I do go and read the comments. So yeah, talk to us. We want to know what you guys think.
Yeah.
And we can have dialogue, but I'm excited about this one today.
Same.
Today we are talking about why does marriage get such a negative rap?
Bad rap.
Such a bad rap.
Yeah.
The whole, I can do bad by myself. I don't need nobody, that kind of thing.
Right.
So we're going to jump right in, right?
Let's go. Let's do it.
So we talked about marriage and why we think it gets a bad rap.
Yeah.
We've talked about it before. I think that it's really, people don't understand that marriage is a covenant.
All right.
Not a contract.
Right.
So when people think it's just a piece of paper or whatever, like, it's not a contract. It's not something that you're just signing.
Yeah.
Right. It's spiritual things tied to it. Right. So, I was talking to you and I was like, man, people just really need to understand that a contract, if you sign a contract or something like that, is based upon what you do.
Right.
If you do this, then this will happen.
Yeah. Conditions.
So conditions, right? However, a covenant, though, is based on commitment, meaning no matter what happens, good or bad, I still choose you.
Yes.
Like, end of the day, I still choose you. Okay? So when you know that God is a covenant-keeping God and that this marriage is supposed to reflect him and his love, man, that should make you excited.
You would think.
Yeah.
However,
before I go on, tell me your thoughts. Like, based on that, like, we know that marriage is a covenant, right?
Yeah.
What are some things you believe has kind of taken that away?
I think that we are such a people, a society, if you will. We are extremely moved by how we feel.
Yeah.
The majority of things that we do, things that we say, how we live our life is really based on how we feel. If I don't feel like doing it, then I'm not going to do it. I don't have to do it. If I feel like it, I will do it. And if I kind of feel like it, I'll do it. But I'm not giving 100% when I do it. You know what I'm saying? Like, we are some very feely people. And I think the danger in that is that when we live our lives in a way where it's based on how we feel, then we approach marriage the same way, because it's such now a habit that we've created of, if I don't feel like it, I'm not
going to do it.
And if I do, I will.
Right.
And so when you get married and you take that same approach to your marriage, then the days that you don't feel like being married, you don't feel like, whether it be you compromising or you don't feel like doing X, Y, and Z, then you're going to tell the person that you don't feel like it, or you're not going to do it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And so now what happens is because of how you let's say you felt a certain way for the last however long, now you make the assumption of, well, since I don't feel like doing it, then they must be the problem.
Interesting.
You know what I'm saying? So like for instance, right, you hear people say, man, I fell out of love with this person, or, you know, things like that. Are we going through in our marriage and it's because this, and the third? If you really peel back the layers of what they're saying is,
deeper.
yo, hey, I feel like they're not doing, I feel like they should be doing more, whatever the case may be. And we live like that based on how we feel.
But do you think it's a lack of understanding that covenant?
I think we don't understand covenant for sure, and we don't truly understand what a commitment is. Like you said, right? Covenant is commitment. So if I am committed to something, right? So let's just say you ask me to do something.
Right.
Hey, or somebody, right? Hey, Marlon, can you do X, Y, and Z? And let's just say in that moment, I feel like I want to do that for that person.
Yeah.
So I say, hey, I'm with it. Well, now the day comes and I don't feel like doing, but when they asked me a week ago, I did feel like doing it.
Right.
So now I got a choice to make because I committed.
Yeah.
By saying yes, I committed to what they asked me to do. I don't feel like doing it. But when you truly understand commitment, then you stay true to your commitment, not based on how you feel.
That's good.
And so I think that's the part that people really don't understand. It's like, yo, marriage is a commitment. That means every single day you commit to the person that you are with, because
I choose you.
It ain't based on how you feel. Like we try to teach our kids, like, no, you committed to it in that moment, you're going to do it.
You got to do it.
You're going to keep your word.
You gotta
and
do
man,
it.
we make it, we want the other person to understand how we feel. Hey, when I told you yes a week ago, I really meant that. But today, man, I just really don't feel like it.
I had a long day.
And I need you to understand I don't feel like it and accept my no today.
Right.
Well, if that's how we are in other relationships, and that's the habit that we've created, when you decide to get married or whatever, then you're going to take the same approach. Hey, I felt like, man, in the moment I wanted to ask you to marry me. Now we are in year one. I don't feel like I felt a year ago.
I really don't want to do this thing.
And so I need you to understand that I don't feel like being committed to you anymore, right? And either we get divorced or we go to counseling, and during counseling, I'm going to tell whoever's counseling us all the things that you have been doing to excuse how I feel.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So basically, because you haven't been doing this, or I think you should have been doing this right here, I no longer feel like you're the one for me. So I need you to understand that. Well, that ain't how it's supposed to work, because it's not about how you feel. You made a commitment. So every single day you wake up, you got to forget about your feelings and say, yo, this is the person I am committed to.
Right.
Even when I don't feel like it, I'm still committed. And there's nothing that's going to change or break my commitment.
Commitment to you. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I think if that's the approach that we take, I think people will be able to exemplify what marriage is supposed to be.
Like, yeah.
Right? Because the reason why it has a bad rap is because the folks who are married, we make it look horrible.
So that's okay. I'm gonna go into the next point about, because my next point was gonna be, do you think that the portrayal of marriage, because it can be portrayed as boring, a trap, toxic, manipulative, all of these things, do you think that plays, or how much of that do you think plays a part in the negative views of marriage between a man and woman?
I think that plays. I think that's 99.9% of the problem.
99.9
is that you have married people who make it look bad. It's like this, right? If I play in the NFL and all I do is go on social media, or when I talk to whoever, I tell everybody the NFL is horrible. I hate it. This way it's ran, it's trash, it's this, it's whatever it is. And so because I'm a part of it, right? What I'm saying is going to hold some weight. It may hold more weight because I'm actually a part of it.
Right.
Same with marriage. If we as married people are complaining all the time, if we as married people are always having, problems, and we're not learning how to communicate and how to work through those issues, then the people who are single, they see that, what's going to make them want to
be married.
And I think it's horrible that the married people are the ones who are making marriage look bad.
Yeah.
Now nobody wants to be married no more.
That is sad.
That's very, very sad.
Yeah, that is sad.
Because marriage is supposed to be a beautiful thing. It's supposed to be about sacrifice. It's supposed to be about covenant. It's supposed to be about commitment and sharing your life with somebody.
You have terms that make it an old ball and chain. What is that?
Yeah, ball and chain.
Like, wait.
This, that, and the third. Yeah, yeah.
Like, why does it have such a negative feel to it? And maybe, again, like I said, we know social media plays a huge part in that. But even like some traumas and coming from a broken home and not wanting to, or that fear of not wanting to repeat that same cycle.
Yeah, I think trauma for sure is definitely another one of those things too. You have two people, two separate lives, two separate childhood experiences, different traumas, different baggage, different issues, different problems, different ways of thinking, different perceptions. Just you got two completely different people, and you are deciding to come together and be married. Let's commit to each other, and not really fully understanding each other's traumas, experiences, and baggage.
Right.
And now you're trying to become one. Right, which is a hard thing to do when you don't really understand what marriage is supposed to look like and what it's supposed to be. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's why it's important that, to get the premarital counseling, but also to get the individual counseling, especially if you have major traumas. Yeah. And now you're trying to go into this commitment, and let's say you didn't have a good example of a strong marriage. Right. You never really got to witness it in person, a single parent household or, staying with grandparents or aunts and uncles, and you're seeing their relationships, not look well and they're not doing well. And so now you're trying to break that cycle, that generational curse of divorce that you have witnessed throughout your life. And now you're trying to commit to a person. But if that's all you've seen, then your perception is going to be horrible when you have issues and problems. Right. You know what I'm saying? And so I think it's very important that we all learn to deal with those traumas and that baggage, so that you can have a healthy marriage. The great thing about it is that you choose. You choose what kind of marriage that you want. Right. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And I think that's the part, it's like I wish people would really understand. It's like you choose what kind of marriage that you want with the person that you have committed to. Exactly. You know what I'm saying? But that's a conversation. And I know we've had that because, my parents divorced, a couple times. Right. But I knew, I was like, man, whoever God has for me, and if I ever, had the to get married, that was going to be it. Like, I did not want to, go through that. So, that was a conversation, even in our premarital, that we had to go through. Like, it's really facing those hard things, having those hard conversations, because we want this to work. Yeah. We don't want to bring any outside noise into it, because all the negativity. Right. Because we have a goal for our marriage. Yeah. So I think that's huge. I can't, hype premarital counseling up enough. Yeah. Yeah. I think people kind of overlook it because they're so in love, man. I think that's even the craziest part too, is like, you say you're so in love today, and then a month from now, you're not in love anymore. Like, what happened? Or 6 months from now, you know what I mean? The fireworks have now had a wet blanket put over them. There's no more sparks flying. Yeah. Now the dust is settled. Y'all are living together, and there is chaos in your home, but again, you choose. And I think the one thing that people misunderstand is that they should be able to do whatever it is that they feel. You know what I'm saying? So, hey, yeah, I can choose for my marriage to be better just by having those conversations, those hard conversations, and working through my personal traumas and my issues and my experiences and my perceptions, and the same for the other person. I could do that, but I need them to understand how I feel.
Right.
Okay, so if they understand how you feel, how's it going to make the marriage
Then
better?
what? Yeah. Then what?
You know what I'm saying? And so I really believe that it grieves the heart of God that there's something that he designed to be so beautiful now has this horrible image.
It's like tainted.
Yeah, exactly. It's tainted, but it's because the people who are married make it looks like it's not great.
Like it's just a burden.
Yeah, and I think you made a statement, we talked about it earlier, was that when not all cases, but the majority of some cases, right, where you have married people who want to be single, right, and then you got the single people who want to be married.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like
what is happening?
Yeah, and so you would think it'd be vice versa.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And honestly, when a single person looks at a marriage, it's not saying everybody should desire, not saying that they should desire it, but it should look appealing.
Right.
Like, man, these
They don't
are two
even look
people
appealing anymore.
Yeah, and that's what I mean. It's like, and the crazy part is some people are more worried about the wedding day itself.
Yeah.
That looks way more appealing than marriage.
The engagement party.
Right, bridal party,
all
and
the
bachelor
parties,
party,
and then the wedding. Then it's like, wait, it's just going to be you and that person after all of that settles.
Yep.
What are y'all going to do?
After you open all them gifts, you know what I'm saying? It's going to be y'all two looking at each other. And I think maybe that's that part really sucks. Also, is that the wedding day looks way more appealing than the actual marriage itself.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, can you imagine spending all that money, inviting all these people, some you care about, some you do not care about. You just wanted them to see you get married. You know what I mean? Because you want them to be jealous or envy what you have. You love saying, my man, my man, my man, my fiance, my wife, whatever it is. And 6 months, a year from now, it's over with.
Right.
Marriage is annulled, or, a few years from now, y'all are divorced. And it's like, man, but you stood in front of all those people. You spent all that money. You spent all that time, and you committed to that person. And now it's done, and it's on to the next. You know what I'm saying? And so if you have friends who are not married and they see what you went through, that's not going to make them want to be married. You know what I mean? Like, and I think it sucks to be the reason or the excuse as to why somebody else don't want to do something because they saw how you went through it and how it was horrible for you, and you made it sound so horrible, and now they like, you know what, I'd rather not.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I think that's a bad thing, especially because marriage is supposed to be such a beautiful, beautiful thing.
And it is. And a disclaimer, of course, if you're in an abusive marriage, all those things, yes, do what you got to do to keep yourself safe.
Right.
But we're talking about marriages that don't have that.
Yeah.
So you raised a point earlier about how it's supposed to be like after the wedding, it's you and that person, right?
Yeah.
Which leads me to this point, how, and I've heard, even before I got married, I've kind of heard this little illusion, I guess, if you will, that marriage feels like a prison. I gotta tell you. I gotta check in. I gotta tell them where I'm going. I gotta do all these things. But it's like, it's not even like that. It's like, it's a partnership.
Yeah.
It's almost like if you got a best friend, you and your best friend share locations, or you and your best friend, hey girl, I'm about to. It's the same.
Right. Well, It should be considered the same, but I'll take it a step further. You got a job. When you want to take off, you just don't show up and not say nothing to nobody. You got to let somebody know, hey, I will not be here whatever day you trying to take off, right? If you at work and you have an appointment, you got to let somebody know you got an appointment. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
If you about to go to lunch, hey, I'm about to go to and so that's my thing, is that you have a job, right, that you could leave at any time you want to. And no matter where you go, you still have to be accountable to somebody.
Right.
Marriage is really about accountability.
It's not a controlling thing.
Yeah, and I think that's the part. It's like people, everything is, do what I want to. And nobody says that you can't. But if you do that at a job and you ain't married to nobody at that job, what is the issue with you doing that with the person that you committed to?
Right.
Unless you about to go do something you shouldn't be doing. Like, hey, I'm about to go to the store. Hey, I'm about to go to the gym. I'm about to go wherever, right?
Yeah.
I don't understand why that's such a big issue.
Yeah, why is that why is that like
and if here's my thing. If we're in a relationship and I want to take some me time and I want to get a hotel room, or I want to fly out of state or the city, whatever the case may be, why would I not want to tell the person I committed to, hey, I need some time away. I'm going to go to just disappear without saying anything.
Yeah.
And now what's going to happen is they're going to call the cops.
Because they worried.
Right. Say you missing.
MIA.
You see yourself on TV.
And you at the hotel chilling, kick back.
Yeah. All because you don't want to feel like you in a prison and you got to check in with somebody. So it's just like, I think people just make excuses for not wanting to be accountable. You know what I mean? For not wanting to be accountable to somebody else. Hey, I want to live my life. I want to just go and come as I please. And here's the thing. You can do that.
Yeah, I do it all the time.
But how great of a relationship will you have if you live that way?
Right. Like of course, you may, hey, babe, I'm about to run up to wherever it is. It could be up the street to Walgreens. I'll be right back. Because it happened times where, I get in the car and leave. And you're like, hey, where you at? You didn't tell me you was going. I'm like, oh, my bad.
Right.
Because anything could happen, whatever. But I think you nailed it. Like, it's the accountability piece. Either we're afraid of it, don't like it. I don't know.
Yeah.
But that is a cuss word to some people.
I just think that especially in America, man, we are extremely obsessed with I can do what I want to when I want to.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We have that freedom. And so when we feel like marriage is going to take that away or has taken that away, then we'll blame the institute of marriage as being the problem. And the reality is, what is wrong with me to the point where I don't want to tell the person I committed to where I'm about to go?
Yeah. Like why is that difficult?
But I can tell my boss, who I don't lay down with, where I'm about to go. If I want to take time off, I need to not just let them know, I got to ask.
That part.
And they have to approve for me to go. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So we can be accountable in those environments, but for some reason, when it comes to relationships or just marriage in general, there's an issue that we have. You know what I'm saying? And again, I really think it's because we're such a feely society that I don't feel like I should have to tell you everywhere that I go all the time when, okay, and that, hey, you have the right to feel how you feel.
Feel how you feel.
But
However,
again, how great of a marriage are you going to have if that's how you feel all the time?
Yeah. You
just get your keys and just go. And you going for hours or you going for days and you don't want this person to ask you. You know what I mean? Like the way we think, it just be like, bro,
I'm going to try that tonight. I'll come back and let y'all know how it works out.
We be bugging. We be bugging.
Should get the keys and go.
Go ahead, Doc. You have every right to do that. You got every right to do that. But just know when you get home, there will be some questions that I'm going to have. Like, that's the thing. There's going to be questions that I'm going to have.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah. I just think there's some just stuff we have to work on. We really have to change how marriage is viewed,
Yeah.
and not just viewed, but how it's even from those who are married. Man, how are we portraying it?
Right. Yeah.
When somebody looks at my marriage who isn't married, does it make them want
Wanna
to be
get married
married?
or run away
or
from
want to
it.
be committed to just one person?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I think that should be the goal. Is, man, when people look at my marriage, man, how do they see it? How do they view it?
That's a great question.
How do they view it?
That's a really good question.
You know? What else we got?
All right. So our next one is another misconception, maybe, is that marriage, like when you're with somebody, you know, we've been together for a minute, that the romance fades away. It's not exciting. It's just kind of mundane. Just everything's the same.
Right.
What are your thoughts? Like, I mean, I think we're pretty fun and exciting couple when we want to be.
Again.
But it all depends on what we bring to the table. Like,
Yeah, I mean, of course, that's always the thing. Is we love to. I mean, when I say we, I mean universally speaking, right? It's easier to shift blame. So if I say, man, the romance is missing, you know, the sparks ain't flying no more, it's become mundane. And if somebody was to ask you, hey, why do you feel that way? You're not going to say, well, I just haven't been doing my part. I haven't been really holding my end of the bargain up. I haven't been that romantic. I haven't been spontaneous. Like, we're not going to respond that way. It's going to be, well, they.
like you got to keep dating. Like, you have to, and of course it's going to be days, you know, you're not going to feel like that feeling word again.
Right.
But that's one of the things. But do you think, like, for people who have never even been married, like, that's the thought, like, why do you think that's a thought process? Like, man, that's just boring. Waking up to the same person every day for 20 years.
Because, again, we make it, if people think it's boring, it's because we make it look boring. Like, I'm telling you, they're not just having these thoughts on their own, unless they were, you know, childhood and they saw it firsthand as far as like their parents and how it was and how the parents interacted with each other, so on and so forth, right? If that isn't the case, then it's something that we're doing wrong. And that's why when I said a few minutes ago, you choose.
Yeah.
So if you feel like your marriage is lacking, you feel like, man, the romance isn't there or it's mundane, then if that's how you feel, then you should take the responsibility of, first off, having the conversation, and then number two, what can I do so that I don't feel this way?
Yeah.
Because if we really honest, the other person may feel the exact same way, but nobody's talking about it.
Saying anything.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But then you take on the responsibility of, you know what I'm going to do? Hey, you know what I'm going to do?
Yeah.
I'm going to find a way to bring the spontaneity back. I'm going to find a way to bring the romance back. I'm going to find a way to get the sparks flying again, because I don't want to feel this way because I committed to that person.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I think that's the approach. I think if you look at your marriage and you can name all the things that are wrong with it, then you have to take some responsibility for your part.
And provide a solution.
Right. Like, what if I not been doing? What do I need to do more of? Or what can I do so that I don't view my marriage this way anymore? Like, you choose.
Yeah.
And here's the thing. I think the dangerous part about that is that when you make it the other person's responsibility, or you make it the other person's problem, and then let's just say it doesn't work out, you get divorced, and then you move on to the next person. You know what's going to happen? The same thing.
Same thing.
Because you're the same person.
Common denominator.
You see what I'm saying? And so if you take the same approach you did in the previous marriage into the new marriage, at some point you're going to feel that way again, because there's nothing that's changed within you. And I think we got to do a better job of taking some responsibility for our part in things.
Yeah. You got to own it.
Right.
You got to own it.
And it's okay. Like, take responsibility.
It's okay.
It's two of y'all.
But I think marriage is growth.
Yeah.
If you're still the same way at year one and you're 19, something's wrong.
Exactly.
You should be growing. You know, so if you can't sit and say, okay, I own that one. Yeah, I'm booked and busy. I should be able to schedule some time for you.
Right.
Make sure I got that time for you or whatever. Because, you know, sometimes, you know, we've been through it where the kids had us just
ripping and running.
It's like,
Still
man,
do, yeah.
Right, but it took us realizing, like, hold on, wait. we come first.
Yeah, no doubt.
We can manage. We can tell the kids where we're going to take them and where we're not going to take them.
Yeah.
You know, so it's just having that conversation and realizing like, no, we got to take care of here. Because at the end of the day, when those kids leave, it's us.
Yeah.
And we don't want to be looking at each other like we complete strangers.
I mean, and to do that, again, like you gotta own your part. There's two people in the relationship. There's two people in the relationship. If there are problems, 50% of those problems are yours.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And we try to make it as if we're doing everything right and they're doing everything wrong. That's why when you have a counseling session and then you ask what's the problem, you're rarely going to hear somebody say, you know what, man, I've been struggling with X, Y, and Z. I've been failing in this department. Nobody going to say, they're going to say, well, they. And here's the thing. When you take that to God, he not going to want to talk about the other person.
No, he want to talk about you.
Lord, do something with my husband. Do something with my wife. He was like, no, let's talk about you first. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I think that's the most important thing to remember in marriage is that anytime there are issues, there are problems, whatever the case may be, or you feeling a certain type of way, is you looking into the mirror and saying, man, how am I contributing to these problems?
Yeah.
And what can I do to not contribute to the problems anymore? Right. But in that, there also has to be an open and honest conversation with your spouse. You know what I'm saying? And hey, this is what I'm feeling. Hey, I own my responsibility. And it should be, hey, I need you to tell me what I can do to make this better.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Not you spending all the time telling them what they done did wrong. And I think that's a dangerous part too, is that we spend a lot of time telling the other person what they did wrong, but then really not telling them how they can fix it.
Yeah.
I'm going to tell you all the problems I got with what you're not doing, and then you figure out how to fix them.
Figure it out. Well, what can I do? I don't know.
You know what I'm saying?
It's your problem.
And I think if you do that though, right, our marriages can be a greater example.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So if you do have a single friend who wants to be married, who's looking to be married, then your marriage can be a really good example of how to communicate, of how to sacrifice, of how to compromise, how to deal with issues, how to handle the kids. Like, it could be a great example that they can pull from. Yep. Not a, like, man, please, I ain't never getting married. Girl, you know what I mean? Girl, I see what you go through. Like, boy, I see what you go through, bruh, man. I don't know how y'all. That should not be the conversation that's being had when people look at our marriages.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, definitely something we got to work on.
Marriage is an absolute blessing, and it's not a burden. Like, it's a real blessing. So, what do you think, you know, as we talk about, you know, being a married couple, how can we, I want to say contribute, but I'll use that word, to help that view, a positive view on marriage? Like, what can be done to kind of shift that perspective, to shift that narrative that, man, no, if somebody desires to be married, it is a blessing.
Yes.
It is a beautiful covenant. How can we, as, you know, couples, start to shift that mindset? Because, you know, I know we talked about it yesterday. Like, we used to see, like, the Family Matters and the Cosby's are like that family and
the good man,
strong marriages, and now, you know,
there's not a whole lot.
Not a whole lot of that shown. So how do we get back to that, or even just kind of shifting that narrative? Like, man, no, marriage is work, but it's beautiful. Yeah, you know, you're gonna run into some storms, but at least we going through them together.
No doubt. Yeah, you got somebody to go through with. Yeah. Man, I say to shift the narrative. I say, man, first off, we have to be honest about where we are individually. To shift it, right? Here's what I mean. There has to be a true assessment of you, like an internal assessment of yourself.
Right.
To make sure that you are doing your part. The great thing about God, one of the great things about God is that He's given us the blueprint to how marriage is supposed to look.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? The first thing is, wives, submit yourself to your husband.
Yep.
And I think it's heartbreaking that society has made that a bad thing. Is to submit, right? Because now I'm talking about just society in general. The conversation now becomes, well, how can I submit to a man who don't make as much money as I make, right? Or who makes a certain amount? How can I submit to a man who doesn't bring this to the table? How can I submit to a man who don't know how to lead? There's God never added conditions to that statement. That's the first thing, right? And so I think we have to change our view of what submission really looks like. Yeah. Okay, so that's the first thing. Second thing would be, for men, it says to love your wives as Christ loved the church. Guys, like, listen, if wives do that and men do that, hey, marriage is going to work.
Yeah.
Here's why, right? When you have a husband who loves you like Christ loves the church. Let's talk about that for a second.
Let's talk about it.
Christ died. He gave himself up.
Yeah.
So what he's saying, husbands, you have to die to yourself, die to your flesh, sacrifice for your wife. That means in every way you need to sacrifice for your wife. And once that happens, then guess what? It's easy for the wives to submit when they see, man, my husband is sacrificing so much, whether it be his time, whether it be his energy, his effort, whatever it is. Like, man, it's easy to submit. But the issue is nobody wants to do the internal assessment of, man, do I have a problem with submission? That's the first thing. And second thing, for men, do I have an issue with loving my wife the way Christ loved the church?
Do I even know what that means, look like? Yeah.
Right. Do I have a problem with sacrificing? Or is everything, again, go back to, is everything based on how I feel? If I don't feel like it, I ain't sacrificing nothing.
Yeah.
If I don't want to do that, I ain't doing that. Man. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's the thing. And the more wives submit to the husband, the easier it is for the man to sacrifice. You see what I mean? And guys, like, and so I think it's so we try to put our own rules and our own stipulations, conditions on it. Well, what if they? Well, what if they? Well, what if they?
It was never a what if.
And that's the thing I think we got to understand too. Is like when we stand before God, right, or when you go to God in prayer, He's going to ask you about your part. Yeah. What role did you play? Did you sacrifice the way I told you to sacrifice? Did you love your wife the way I told you to love your wife? Did you submit to your husband the way I like? He's not going to say, you know what? Yeah, you were making more money than him, so I see why you ain't submit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Hey, man, your wife, she did give you a lot of attitude. She nagged you a lot, so I see why you didn't sacrifice.
Yeah.
That's not
how it works.
He's going to, had y'all just did what I told y'all to do, it works. Like, he's given us the solution.
I love it, the blueprint.
It works, and it's so sad that you have so many people now trying to provide their own blueprint for their own marriage and thinking, they're trying to figure out why we got so many problems.
Yeah. You preaching now, Doc.
You know what I'm saying? And so I think once men understand that and women understand that, marriage looks beautiful.
Man.
And now you can raise your children who know, young men who know how to sacrifice. You have young women who know how to submit to their husband. And now when they grow up and they get married, their marriages work because they've seen a godly example of marriage. You know what I'm saying? And so we're accountable for the view. We are held responsible for why people look at marriage the way they look at it, because you have people who got married because the person was fine.
Yep.
She looked good. She smelled good. You know what I mean? He was tall, dark, and handsome. He made a whole bunch of money.
Wined and dined me.
And people are like committing to people based off of the most superficial reasons.
Right.
And then when they have to be alone with that person in their home, now they realize, oh my God, they have no depth to them whatsoever. They're extremely shallow, but you made it superficial to begin with. You overlooked all the red
All
flags.
the red flags, yeah.
And made it to the altar, and now you living with that person. Now you see all the problems. Like, no, the problems, they were there,
You just
but because
you ignored it,
right, you were so in love, and they made you
ignored it.
feel a certain way.
or you thought something was going to change. You was going to change, and they was going to change for you.
No doubt.
Yeah.
Yeah, I heard that before. Men get married thinking that the woman won't change, and women get married thinking that men will change.
Like, that's already
That's a problem. You know what I mean?
like, that's already messed up. That's
that's a
too,
problem.
that's too
That's a
much right
problem.
there. That's already too much.
You know what I'm saying? So I think just stuff like when you hear things like that, it's like, man, there is some truth to that. But yeah, we've made marriage so surface level.
Yeah.
It's based on a whole bunch of like things that really don't matter in the long run. And then, like I said, now once you are alone with that person and it's just y'all two, you realize like, oh my God, what have I got myself into?
Right.
This is not who I thought they were. No, it is. Again, you overlooked it, but now you want to get divorced,
Yeah.
or y'all want to get divorced, and now all your single friends see it, and now they saying, I ain't gonna ever get married. Y'all was married for how long?
I'm good.
Right. But the reason for them going to the altar had nothing to do with sacrifice and submission.
Man.
Nothing at all.
I don't even know what to go from there.
No, just-
you dropped the mic.
No. Yeah, I think that's the reality of it. And man, I want to make sure that we are right.
Yeah. You said that word accountable. I'm like, whoa.
That, and I just want to make sure we are a good example
Yeah.
of what marriage is supposed to. And again, I'm not trying to say
Yeah,
be perfect.
yeah, we're not
I'm not trying to say
perfect now.
that. What I'm saying is when people are around us, they like, man, I really like their relationship.
Because what you see, we might argue in front of you.
Right. And then 5 minutes later,
We'll be
we
fine.
hugging and kissing again, like nothing wrong.
Yeah.
But that's because I think of course, we've grown to the point of we understand, like, yo, we've committed to each other.
Yeah.
Like, we are committed to each other. We here, we rocking with each other. Days I don't feel like it. Days you don't feel like it. If you need space, I give you space. Vice versa. But when the day is done, we know what it is.
Right. Like, we're not enduring each other.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, this is-
tolerating.
we're tolerating.
Just
Like,
putting up. Wait for one of them to die.
We enjoy being around each other. And again, but I think it's, like you said earlier, it was built on that right foundation.
Yeah.
You know, at the end of the day, it was built on the blueprint,
Yeah.
you know. So, man, I don't know where to go.
Nah, we good. I think that's a great conversation, man. But yeah, I think we definitely got to work on.
I do. And I do want to say, for those who have gone like through divorce or who desire to be married, like, understand that, again, even if you've missed the mark, you've gone through some brokenness or whatever, God can redeem it.
Amen.
He's a redeemer. So, you know, and I pray that, you know, as you're walking through this, and just stay in your word and just know that who God has for you is for you. You just be ready when God send them.
Yeah.
So many times we go out and just pick who we want, and that ain't who God had for us.
Ain't
That's
nobody.
another day, another time.
Ain't
But
nobody. Yeah.
so yeah, I just wanted to leave with that, you know, little bit of encouragement. Like, we don't endure each other. We love being around each other. Marriage is now outdated.
Right.
It is not outdated. It's a timeless thing.
Yeah, and it's not just a piece of paper.
No,
it is
it's not.
covenant. It is commitment.
Yep.
Every single day, it's a commitment to the person that you stood at the altar with, and you said, "I do."
I do.
Good times and bad, sickness and health, for richer, for poorer.
I
do.
I choose you.
You know what I'm saying? And so
Every day.
I think that's the one thing that we should hold on to. If you're married or whatever, even if you're single, right? Hold on to what those vows say and really value what that means.
Yeah.
Not just something you say. You know what I'm saying? Something that you live. So with that, man, I think it's a great conversation, man. Hopefully, you know, we are contributing to the good view of marriage.
I hope so.
With our marriage. And if we're not
tell us,
tell us
please.
so we can fix it. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, we hope that everybody who is married, man, let's do a better job of showing those around us what for real marriage is and what it looks like every single day.
Yep. And we're not looking for perfection.
Yeah.
Let's just change the narrative.
Yeah. Yeah, it's work and just keep working. So again, man, we thank y'all for tuning in. We hope you guys enjoyed this conversation. Listen, if there's something that you, another reason why you think marriage is a bad rap or whatever, man, put it in the comments, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and to share. Thank y'all again for tuning in. Until next time, God bless. This is Pandemonium, Love and Marriage.
Hey.